have your reading book. Kristen, raise your hand and tell Miss Minnie, okay, Chandler, what am I going to say? Never raise your hand if you don't even know what the question is. This is great. Now, what I was going to say, James, what is the title of today's story?
The Hole in the Dike.
The Hole in the Dike. What country, Jordan, what country is this story, does this story take place in? What country?
Holland.
Holland, right. What do you know about Holland? What do you know about Holland, Taylor? What are some facts you know about Holland? Very good. They have dikes. What, please, Walker, is another name for a dike? Well, even better than that. Remember we talked about Lake Murray and riding, honey, you need to get a tissue. Riding, dam. A dam holds back the water. What would happen if the dike or the dam broke, Brock?
If the Holland would flood.
The whole Holland, the whole land would flood. It would wash away what?
The houses and the windmills.
Houses, windmills, and what's so beautiful there? And the fields of what?
Tulips.
Tulips, yes, and very, very famous for that. Because Holland is so low,
Wait, Holland is real?
Holland is real. I thought we had the United States map and I showed it to you.
Yeah, we did.
No, that's not, I mean, the world map.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
Holland is way across the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean. It's in Europe. And it's a very low, low land. But the sea is high there. So they have to have the dams called dikes to hold that water back or they will have a terrible flood. Now, so far, we've read about wonderful story about Peter and the dike. And I have a few more children that need to read.
I didn't read.
I know, several people didn't. Ainsley, I left my grade book and I need those children to read. You don't mind
I'll
handing
get
it
it.
to you.
Is it on your desk?
Yes, thank you so much. Now, boys and girls, what we're going to do, you be looking silently. Look at your story. Please be on the correct one because Ms. Moody is going to give you a test on this story to measure what you know, kind of like we did with dragons and giants. We're going to, excuse me, let's don't talk out, Ms. Moody has the floor. We're going to read on page 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25, 26, 27, and 28. I mean, one of those pages has one sentence on it. They're not very long. So when Miss Ansley gets back, Miss Greer gets back, we'll go ahead and begin calling on people. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Turn now to 23. Because I tell you what, turn to the very beginning, page 20. Let's listen to Miss Moody read. Listen carefully because you're going to hear some details that we want to make sure you can recall, remember. Thank you, bless you. The details. Everybody's finger up under the title, The Hole in the Dike. A long time ago, a boy named Peter lived in Holland. He lived with his mother and father in a cottage next to a tulip field. Peter loved to look at the old windmills turning slowly. He loved to look at the sea in Holland. In Holland, the land is very low. The sea glacier is very high. The land is kept safe and dry by strong walls called dikes. Peter wheeled his bike to the road on top of the dike. It had rained for several days and the water looked higher than usual. Peter thought, it's lucky that the dikes are high and strong. Without these dikes, the land would be flooded and everything would be washed away. Suddenly, he heard a soft gurgling noise. He saw a small stream of water trickling through a hole in the dike below. Peter got off his bike to see what was wrong. He couldn't believe his eyes. There in the big strong dike was a leak. Peter slid down to the bottom of the dike. He put his finger in the hole to keep the water from coming through. He looked around for help, but he could not see anyone on the road. He shouted. Maybe someone in the nearby field would hear him, he thought. Only his echo answered. All right, boys and girls, we're going to start there. Only his echo answered. And that is sad. Well, I'll read a little more. Only his echo answered. Everyone had gone home. Peter knew that if he left the water leak through the hole in the dike, the hole would get bigger and bigger. Then the sea would come gushing through. The fields and houses and the windmills would all be flooded. Peter looked around for something to plug up the leak so he could go to the village for help. He put a stone in the hole and then a stick, but the stone and the stick were washed away by the water. Peter had to stay there alone. He had to use all his strength to keep the water out. From time to time, he called for help, but no one came. No one heard him. All night long, Peter kept his finger in the dike. His fingers grew cold and numb. He wanted to sleep, but he couldn't give up. All right, now boys and girls, look at 25. Don't turn the page. You're right there on 25. And read, please, for us this morning at the top of 25. Let's hear from Kari.
At last, early in the morning, Peter heard a bubbling sound. Someone was coming. It was a milk cart rumbling down the road.
Okay, next, let's hear from Brock. Peter shouted.
Peter shouted for help. The milkman was surprised to hear someone near that road so early in the morning. He stopped and looked around.
All right, next, turn the page. Please say with us, fingers up under help.
Help!
And let's hear from Luke.
Help, Peter shouted. Here I am at the bottom of the dike. There's a leak in the dike. Help, help. The man saw Peter. He hurried down to him. Peter showed him the leak in the little stream of water coming through.
Excellent. Next, let's go to our friend Carson.
Peter asked the milkman to hurry to the village. Tell the people. Ask them to send some men to repair the dike right away. The milkman went as fast as he could. Peter had to stay with his finger in the dike.
And the sentence on the next page. At last,
At last, the men from the village came. They set to work to repair the leak.
good, and bless you to our little friend. Now, let's go ahead and Wasim is still absent, is that correct?
He doesn't feel good.
Okay, I just asked if he was still out. We miss him. Okay, now, Walker, start us out on 28. Turn the page to the beautiful picture of Cain, Malachi on 28. Miss Lee wants to see that everybody's on the correct page. There we go. Go ahead, dear.
All the people came over. They carried him on their shoulders, shouting, "Make way for the hero calling. Brave boy who saved our
Xavier, could you finish it up for us, Donnie?
But Peter didn't know, did not think of himself as a hero. He had done what he thought was right. He was glad that he could do something for the country he loved so much.
Very good. Now, boys and girls, let's turn just back to page 25. Read for us, please, Starlings. Page 25. At last,
At last, early in the morning, Peter had
boys and girls, let me show you something real quick. Thank you so much. That Sterling, that helped this meeting remember something I wanted to show you. I think I showed you this the other day, but I want to show it to you one more time. Everybody stand up, please. We're going to look at the three sounds of E-A-R, okay? The first sound of E-A-R is air, like the air you breathe.
And we're all breathing right now.
The second sound of E-A-R is like bear. And the second sound of E-A-R is this. What is that supposed to be, boys and girls?
Ear.
Your ear. Right. Like ear. Or what would that word be?
Ear.
Ear. Then the third sound of E-A-R. E-A-R can say as in our planet Earth. Alright, now that we're all standing up quickly, let's say the three sounds of E-A-R. Ready? Let's be still. Stand up straight. Here we go. Air. Let's say your air. 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 Ear. Ear. Very good. Now let's try. Right in a row. What are the three sounds of E-A-R? Air. Ear. So when you see a word, thank you. That means sit down. When you see a word that you're not sure of, someone is talking over me, that is hurting my feelings because it's my turn to talk. When you see a word and you're not sure what the word is, Sterling, are you watching this meeting's TV? Okay. You must try all three sounds, all right? And see which sound makes a word that you've heard of before. That will help you. But you have to remember that E-A-R has three sounds. Air, ear, earth. Let's start over.
At last, early in the morning, Peter heard a welcoming then we have page 6. Oh. Oh, Peter shouted. Here I am at the bottom of the.
I don't want you there, dear. There are two Peter shouted. Let's always pay attention. Peter shouted. Well, wait a minute, honey. We're on page 25, and we're on the second paragraph. You know, paragraphs you can tell because they're in bless you. And bless that other person, Steve, back there, the fall back. Use your thumb. When you're writing, you use your thumb and move over that top line far enough to where you get a dent. It's called indent. And then your other lines are right along the edge. Okay? Thank you.
Charlotte.
Okay, start all over, please.
At S.
Start with Peter shouted, right?
Peter shouted for help. The milkman was.
Okay, cover up till you get to just S-U-R. What would S-U-R say? Okay, boys and girls, look at
Shouted for help.
Yeah, okay. Was I-R-E-R and U-R say This is a rule, boys and girls. I-R, E-R. Grace, when I'm teaching, let's don't talk over Miss Moody, because I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna win, okay? Just because Miss Moody's mouth is very loud. I-R-E-R and U-R say So what is that word? You have to look at it.
Surprise
Very good.
to hear someone near that road so early in the morning. He stopped and looked under.
Okay, it could be under, but let's look at the beginning of that word. What's the first letter in it? O-U.
Road.
O-U is gonna say ow in that word. He looked on, well, what is R-O-U-N-D? Ow. Round. Round. R-O-U-N-D. Round. So he looked around. Good. He looked around. Okay. All right, Mr. Brycey Weissy. Now, boys and girls, let's not make noises because that's disruptive. Look on 26. Charlotte, read for us, please.
She's not here. She just went with Miss Career.
Read for us, Jordan, on the top of page 26. Help!
Help! Peter shouted. Here I am at the bottom of the dike. There's a leak in the dike. Help! Help! The man saw Peter and rushed down to help.
All right. The man's up here and rushed at, no. Start with that again. The man saw Peter.
The man saw Peter and rushed
I don't see rush. I see the word that starts with an H.
down to him. Peter shouted.
Now, Peter, what? Cover up your ED suffix. Boys and girls, when you have a longer word and it has a suffix, a letter or letters added to the end, cover up the end. What's S-H-O-W? O-W says ow or O. Shall or show? Show. You have to try both sounds, boys and girls.
Showed him believe in a little
Okay, I'm gonna ask someone else to read. You did a great job, Malachi. Peter asked the milkman.
Peter asked the milkman to hurry to the village. Some of the people asked him to send some men to repair the dike right away. The milkman went as fast as he could. Peter had to stay with his fingers a bit.
Go ahead and read the last sentence on that second page.
At last the men from the village came. They set to work to repair the leak.
All right, now, Jordan, okay. Next, let's go to Taylor at the top of 28.
All these people thanked Peter. They carried him on three.
Not three.
Through
No. Look at this, boys and girls. Look at this word, please. T-H-E-I-R means there, like two children have a ball and it belongs to them. It is their ball. T-H-E-R-E is a homophone. That word is there also. And we say it the same way. But this kind of there means where something is located. Over there, over there.
Over there. Or like our
You
ball.
don't yell out unless you're Miss Moody.
There.
Okay, read for us. Who was reading?
Malachi.
Malachi, go ahead. Malachi, start with all the people. I thought Malachi already read. Who was? Taylor. Taylor, you should say something when Miss Minnie makes a mistake. It's okay. Miss Minnie makes mistakes a lot. We say what? That's okay. I don't mind. I'll get it right another time. Or the very next
And you
time.
probably will.
And I probably will. Let's stop it. Go ahead, dear.
their shoulders.
Why don't you start with all the people?
All the people thanked Peter that they carried him on their shoulders, shouting, "Make way for the hero of Holland, the brave boy who saved our land."
Okay, very good. Very good. Let's go to last but not least, Holly. Holly, there you are. Start with what Peter did not think.
There. But Peter did not think of himself as a hero. He had done what he thought was right. He was glad that he could do something for the country he loved so much.
Very good. Boys and girls, Miss Minnie is so proud of you. Now listen carefully. Wait a minute, Chandler.
I didn't get to read.
You read yesterday. I got a grade from you yesterday, okay?
And you got a grade from me yesterday.
You didn't read today, you read yesterday. We like to read every day, but what we have some days are certain challenges. Today, we're going to take a test to measure what we know about the whole of the dot. You understand that? Now, listen carefully. Listening is very important. You listen for detail. Now, I'm going to read this. Well, I already read it, didn't I? Except y'all read the last part. So, I'm going to give you a few minutes to read this in your mind and make sure you understand everything about the story. Go over it. Check it. You don't have time to read the whole story, but look at each page and think about the key important parts that happened on that page. time to look it over and you feel good about Peter and Holland and the dike and where he lives and what happened with the hole in the dike, then please put your book in your desk. Put your book up, Miss Moody will give you the two pieces. Boys and girls, you may remember you write your name on the side and the date. What, Corey? Go up there, please, grab a marker and write SEPT period. And what's the date, boys and girls? Huh? T for September. What's today's date, boys and girls?
You ready?
The 10th.
You ready?
Don't, you write your name on here and the date, please, as soon as you get this. Put your book up when you finish, because I can't give you all day. You've read the story several times.
Excuse me, Miss Moody, what's the date?
SEPT 10. Brock, you got the first page under there? Yeah, write your name on the side.
Yes, I am. Must already. I didn't leave a lot of things because I left my whole name in the story.
Now, we're not talking. We're writing our names and the day. Did you have a period after the T? All right, boys and girls,
What is this?
look at this. It's right up here with listening ears. This is a lowercase. This is supposed to be an uppercase S. There should be no doubt about it. A lowercase p starts here and always has a tail that hangs down. You need a period. This is an abbreviation, which is a short way to write a longer word. And it is the tip. And if you have room, you can put comma.
I think it's the 10th.
2020.
Write it down.
Oh, no. Stop. Okay. All right, who doesn't have one? Okay, boys, everybody turn around. Everybody turn around. We're gonna look up here toward Miss Moody. And we're gonna look at the very first question. Now, boys and girls, we are using our best guess spelling on this. I want you to concentrate about the facts that were in your story, okay? I don't want you to worry about about your spelling. Miss Moody can read anything that you can write. I'm sure I can. So do not raise your hand and ask how to spell something. That disturbs the other children. We never say answers out loud because then we'll have to have a whole new question on the back.
And you could be wrong and
You
someone
may
else
not do that. What do you want to tell Miss Moody and the children?
So if like
You want to tell us that you're sorry? What did you forget to do? That's so good that you know that. Now what did you want to say, dear?
if you said an answer out loud and if it was wrong, somebody else could get it wrong too.
Yes, and that's not what we do. We don't talk during any kind of a test. So, does everybody pay close attention? Look at number 1. Do not say it out loud. Write your answer on the line. In what country does Peter live? Write what you think is the name of the